Okay, we're going to start this again with me actually talking, because the last time I was not. And I'm hoping there's not that weird undertone. I do have one of those Yeti microphone things. I think that's what it's called. One of the things that looks like it's an old-fashioned microphone from like a long time ago, the 30s, 40s. But it's up in my kid's room and she's asleep. So I don't know how to start in sometimes I don't know where to start in the beginning, but I do know how to just let you guys in on where I am right now. So this morning, what I'm going to do is I'm going to randomly come on here and I'm going to show you what I do in the morning. And what I do in the morning is not only like I've got a little path I do in the kitchen to make sure that everything's cleaned up and that my headspace, and then I make my lemon water, which is basically hot water. I put it in the microwave, or I do have, Mel bought me a hot pot. I use that, but I've been going back to the microwave lately. And lemon water, lemon juice from either Costco or Santa Cruz. So, okay, today is July 4th. This is the book that we're reading out of today. It's The Language of Letting Go. I'm going to read it out loud, and then what happens is I take notes. These are my favorite journals ever. Moleskin. I'm not kidding. This is how I roll. Okay? Moleskin. These are all just from this last year, and then I buy them. They come in sets of 3. But like if you ever need a password in my house, I always put it in front, right? But like all of these are, this is just this year's, or no, this is this year's and last year's. Yeah, so this is, yeah, like June 2020, May 20. Okay, so now I'll go through this and I will, at the same time, I read and I write at the same time. I've got a little pen, and I'll write at the top of the journal. It doesn't matter. Like if I had space on the day before, I would write the date down there. I don't have rules on that kind of stuff. The journal has no rules. So July 4th, 2021. Okay, today's little thing, it says celebrate. Take time to celebrate. Celebrate your successes, your growth, your accomplishments. Celebrate you and who you are. For too long, you have been too hard on yourself. Others have spilled their negative energy, their attitudes, beliefs, pain on you. It had nothing to do with you. All along, you have been a gift to yourself and to the universe. So right there, I'm just going to go ahead and write a line down the side because I want to be able to remember that. I'm also studying a book called The 4 Agreements. Okay, so in my mind, I'm going to immediately go to the 3rd agreement, which is right about where I've stopped in that. So that's to not make assumptions. And the 2nd agreement is to don't take things personally, which I do, because I think things are about me, and I also I put your issues ahead of mine, right? So this is talking about, their attitudes, their beliefs, and pain on you. Well, those are agreements that I've made, that your pain is my pain. And that's an agreement that I've made that your disbelief or beliefs are my beliefs. And that is, I stop and I think about it and I go, that is not true. I, I I don't have to believe in what you believe in. I don't have to have the same pain you do. I am me and you are you. And that's a challenge for me. So I'm going to write something like that down. You know, and I'll read as I'm writing. So I'm going to say go between the two schools of thought. How I have taken on all the challenges of others as mine. I am separate just as much as we are one. I get the two confused. And I'm going to ask myself a question. Am I allowed to be separate in the ways I want? Or is that selfish? And then I'm going to write, and who made up these fucking rules? Okay, you are a child of God, beautiful, a delight, a joy, sometimes. You do not have to try harder, be better, be perfect, or be anything you are not. Your beauty is in you just as you are each moment. Your beauty is in you just as you are each moment. That's a hard pill to swallow, right? I was given compliments yesterday, and I'm going to write about this, right? So I saw Lauren yesterday, and she just loved on me. Loved on me. She told me I was truth, light, beautiful. She asked me why, and I'm writing all this down, why I am still in this room, which I thought interesting. You know, she's like, what are you still doing in this room? And Lauren's referring to the office that I turned into a yoga studio. My friend Tony brought wood flooring over for me, and I laid it myself, ripped out the carpet and cleaned the floor, took all the tack strip out, and laid down wood flooring in this, it's like 11 by 10 square feet. And she's like, what are you still doing in this room? And I had this thought that I am grateful for the room. The room has allowed me to see what is important with movement and what really needs to happen and what doesn't. And it's been an interesting journey, but the room is a whole separate thing. But I feel the need to write about it, right? We celebrate. When you have a success, when you accomplish something, enjoy it. Pause, reflect, rejoice. Too long you have listened to admonishments, not to feel good about what you have done, lest you travel the downward road to arrogance. Oh gosh, isn't that such a push, right? That we have to, like, it's just like this pendulum swing of like, oh, you're completely fucking arrogant about success, or do you write it off as a no big thing, right? And then, like, if we do either one of them, we're somehow bad or good. It's so fucked up. The arrogance is happening just at the same time as the self-deprecation, right? They're happening. It's the sun and the moon. They're happening at the exact same time. So why can't we just acknowledge it and move past it, because the feelings will always change. We're not going to stay in the arrogance. That's not a thing. And the hope is, if we don't have attachment to the self-deprecation or the arrogance, that it doesn't make us who we are, then we can glide past it into the next thing. We're not living anywhere in any one space, at least if we don't want to. I actually don't think the mind is able to live in that one space, but I don't know all that sciencey neuro stuff. I know I can't. I mean, on any given second, I'm gonna be talking to you guys, and then all of a sudden I'll go, oh, I'd like a sip of my lemon water, right? So if my brain is constantly twitching in between all these different things, my eyeballs are constantly going different places, that means my emotions are doing the same thing. And if I'm having attachment to self-deprecation, that means it's coming from somewhere else. And if I'm not going to own that, and then move on, the feeling will actually move on. So I'm going to write down self-deprecation versus arrogance. And is there a middle in between the two? I think that takes work. And I do believe that all comes back to an agreement that I have to be one or the other, which makes me an asshole on both sides. With one or the other. Who came up with that? Who put that on me, that I'm supposed to judge myself in such a way to where I even get to arrogance, that I even get to self-deprecation? Ew, that's just so yucky. So we do get to reflect, rejoice. We've listened to all of these other people admonishing us for feeling too good or too bad. Celebration is a high form of praise, of gratitude to the Creator for the beauty of God's creation. To enjoy and celebrate the good news, to celebrate good does not mean that it will be taken from you. To celebrate, I'm going to underline that. Oh my gosh. I mean, how many times, like I would get third place or something in ice skating, and it was like not good enough to get third place. Like there's this, I mean, yeah, you want first place, of course, right? But then there's this like, oh, you get to celebrate, but it's taken away from you immediately because it's just third, right? It's not, there's no ability to be able to rejoice there. So, and along the lines of, I could liken it to, hey, congratulations on getting your driver's license. Hey, Mom, can I take the car out? And I say, no, scared to death you'll wreck it, right? I mean, it's the same. Like there's all of a sudden these limitations on rejoice, and how you rejoice needs to fit in my box. So power in the rejoicing. Who am I giving it to? And why does it need to stop when you are uncomfortable? Because that's not my job to make sure that you are okay with my rejoicing, that you're okay with me being sick. Oh God, that is such a thing, me working with Piper and working with I mean, my friends, us dealing with cancer, my family, Mark, and my sister, this. I'm the one sick, and I'm trying to manage how sick I am, or how sick I talk about I am, to make sure that you're not uncomfortable enough to where you'll stop taking care of me. That is so fucked up. So right here, I'm going to insert, literally, I wrote the word insert cancer, right? Right page. Management of what you think, feel, abandon, justify. If I'm sick enough to be worthy enough for you to not, oh, bad spelling, only like me, but to take care of me and believe me. Pain, uncomfortable, spiritually, mentally, physically, spirit, mental, physical. Okay, celebrate. Oh, to celebrate is to delight in the gift, to show gratitude. Celebrate your relationships, celebrate the lessons from the past and the love and the warmth that is there today. Enjoy the beauty of others and their connection to you. Celebrate, I love that. Enjoy the beauty of others and their connection to you. So I'll actually write that up like a little line just to make sure, like to tell myself that this is a quote that I'm writing down. To celebrate, because I like to plagiarize every once in a while, is to delight. I don't actually like to do it, I just forget. In the gift. To show gratitude. Ooh. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Celebrate all that is in your life. Celebrate all the good. Celebrate you. And it says, today I will indulge in the joy of celebrating. Okay, so celebration today. It's July 4th. Guys, I bought a red hat a long time ago. It's a Lululemon red hat, right? God, it sucked for my kid's colors for her soccer team was black and red and white, and they are again, right? So the Jaguars are red, black, and white. And I have had to put this red hat in a drawer and not wear it because people choose to use symbols, take very ordinary things, and they change and switch, and I all of a sudden agree to it. Somewhere in my fucking brain I go, oh yeah, I don't want to be put with these people, so I'm going to agree that my fucking red hat I don't get to wear. So you know what? I'm wearing my fucking red hat today. I'm going to celebrate the 4th of July, and I am going to go over to my girlfriend's house, and I'm going to celebrate, and I might even get in a fucking pool with my flat chest that I don't own a swimsuit for, but it's okay. All right, so this was today's. Actually, okay, I'm not gonna lie, right? This was 19 minutes, and typically my morning meditation like this takes 30 minutes. So, I'm gonna sit here I don't know if I should record my breathing that I'll do now. Oh, fuck it. You guys can turn it off if you don't want to do it. Right? I decided I was just going to be me. I'm totally done with... I think the world needs this. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. So what I'm doing now is I actually have my feet on one of those. My girlfriend, Nat, gave this to me. It's a roller thing that has like bumps on it, like you're walking on rocks. It's a acupressure. So my feet are just sitting on that. Shoulders are just relaxed. Feet are on the floor. Well, on the roller thing. My hands are on my thighs. I'm going to close my eyes. What I'm going to do here is start to notice my breathing. It's called Anapana breathing. If you want to learn more about it, there's a series. It's called Building a Bridge on my somewhere. That's on YouTube, but it's on my website too. So I'm going to try to find right underneath my nose. About 10 more breaths. Noticing the sounds outside. And take the awareness to the top of my head. And between the eyes. And give my eyes a double close. Let's see. Beautiful color going into there. It's really sharp. Lips are a little fuzzy today. Make sure to clean it out. Down my throat. Ask myself to clearly communicate. To be impeccable with my words. Because they are magic. And only real pure love to come from them. You are not the reason for or against loving myself. I need to not take things personally. I'm not responsible for you. to the center. A little further. Feet. And a little further to the hips. The knees. And shuffle my feet a little bit to feel the roly-poly and the acupressure. And gently guide my awareness back. Nod the head forward, let it in. Lift it back up and then gently bring it down to 3 o'clock. Lift you up to the sky where you're going. So the top of the head's coming to 3 o'clock. I'm just going to roll through and take it to 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6, 7, 8, and stop at 9. And back around. 7 to 6, 5, all the way to 7, and then take it forward, and back and forth. Lots of tension in it today. Our job today is to celebrate. Our job today is, well, at least my job today is to celebrate what I find worth celebrating. The agreements with myself. And that feels right. You are loved, you are lifted. Namaste.